What's up, guys? Welcome back to another video. Today I am going to be drawing my original character Painkiller in different variants. So let's get into it. I first start off with the head and go over to get in the ears and the goggles. Then I go down to go and shape the goggles a bit more. I'll line them up, add the nose, and then add the mouth, the chin, and his cheekbones, his jaw. Then I go to define the ears and getting more emphasis on the nose. And yeah, now that's fixed, and now it's time to do more of the line work and focus on more of the details. And this first style, we are going to be doing the Spider-Verse style. Alright, so I'm going to continue working on this, and I think I'm going to start doing the shoulders at this point. Yeah, so I'm going to add the shoulders, and I'm basically going to try and make sure that I know where the outline and the lighting is from, kind of similar to like the dotted like comic book effect of the Spider-Verse. I'm now gonna start prepping the drawing for the coloring, and then I'll go over to the inking. So I'm gonna be using the Artix markers, and I'm gonna be using these because they can also, like, if I use my finger, I can smear them a lot better and make them look pretty cool and showing that Spider-Man, like Spider-Verse effect. And now as I'm coloring this big part in, I am going to bring in the brown for the hair and color that all in. Make sure I get that in. That's like the darkest brown I got, so not really that close to his hair in the comics, but at least the close enough I could get. Now I'm going to go on with the red throughout the rest. Now I'm going to start getting to the yellow of the cape. And I'm also going to go over the yellow with the eyes and the goggles. So got that there. And then I'm going to use some of this and use my finger to smear it in and basically give it a more blended effect. Now I'm going to do the fun part where I basically add the Spider-Verse effect by going and layering over and adding the dots, and then using my finger to smear it in to basically give it that dotted comic book lighting look. So I did that with the hair, and then I'm going to do it with the ear and then the rest of the face. Basically give that whole effect everywhere. On the goggles as well, and then on the cape finally. Now I'm going to work on the things that hold the cape together near his symbol and color that in with the Posca markers. My other boy ran out in the Artix markers, so I had to use Posca. And I went in with the inking a little bit, so now I'm going to do the background. I was thinking of doing this cool, like, fiery type look, and I'm going to go through here. Now I am going to get into coloring the other part and making it have like that fiery type look. Make sure I don't mess up any of the sides of the line work. And I was also thinking to add the black in the back. I think that would make it pop a lot more. So I'm using this big Posca, and this should be able to cover all the space. If you could look closely, you can notice that I actually happened to bend the paper a lot more than I was meaning to because of the amount of like paint and acrylic. So now that I got the black in, I'm gonna go in with a darker orange and blend it in. As I'm blending this in, you can see it goes in with orange and gives it a cool like Spider-Verse type effect. So I'm gonna add that there. and add a little bit on the other side. I was also thinking of adding a little bit right on that spot as well. So yeah, that's it for the Spider-Verse effect. Now I am on to using the cartoony Simpson style for my character. I was thinking of doing a pose where he's basically like a superhero doing like a standing like chest out pose, but since it's like that cartoony style, it's gonna be kind of similar to Homer Simpson and having the like fatter body, less used in like my comics and stuff, but it's gonna be used to match the Simpsons vibe. And as I'm going in with these fingers, I'm gonna start doing the gloves as well. As you can see, it is coming together, and you can notice that it obviously is my character Painkiller, just a slight different style. So I'm adding the spikes and the fake abs. Now I'm gonna go in and use the kneaded eraser to get all the pencil out and prep it for coloring. Now I am also running out of Copics, so all my ink is not doing so well, so I'm gonna have to start using some cheaper markers, and later I'll be using like Ohuhu's a little bit well, but also mainly like these random like other brush tip markers that aren't as higher quality as the ones that I usually use. Now I'm gonna continue coloring in all the yellow parts, and I did end up running out of the yellow in both my Copic and Ohuhu markers. So if you would hit the subscribe button, that will help a lot, and like to get my video a little bit more attention, so then I'll be able to get myself some new markers. Then continue to go in with the rest of the yellow, and I end up going into the other colors of the suit and his face. I then go in with the goggles to make sure that those look pretty cool, and then I am going to start going to add in the hair with a brown Ohuhu marker. Now as I'm finishing this, I go over to start doing the red. I also ran out of red Copics as well, so I'm going to have to start using these random like off-brand brush tip markers. Then I'm going to go in with those and give it that nice clean look. Though it is not as clean as the ones I use, it is also the only option I have. I then start to go in with my inking pen, and make sure I get that everywhere, including the goggles and the rest of the face of Painkiller. I go in with the cape and gotta get the things that hold the cape down. And I start adding the cloth look and go on to the rest of the hands and the rest of the body. Now since I got the body done, I'm gonna go in with the last hand, and I will do the face, and that's it. Thanks for watching.